Welcome back to the Red Debate. It's Chris Smith and Tom Verghese here, and it's been a significant weekend for Liverpool Football Club for both positive and negative reasons. We've won a game of football, a big 3 points away at Spurs, which wasn't pretty at times. We're going to discuss that. But the reason we're recording this week, I guess, is because of the news about Alexander Isak likely breaking his leg, and I think we've got a bit of an update on that now. And being unavailable for a lengthy period of time, which, to be honest, couldn't come at a worse time of Salah being at the AFCON as well. But in this episode, then we're going to talk about the madness of the Spurs game, the good, the bad, what it tells us about where we are in our season, and whether or not the rut that we've been in is kind of over or nearing being over. Plus, I guess the fact of what do we do with the Isak news, and should we be shopping in the market? I guess in January. Two big topics, Tom. Let's go with Spurs away then. What's your reaction? It was a pretty crazy game in the end, wasn't
it? Yeah, understatement, mate. Understatement. The old adage of you take 3 points any which way, ball bouncing in off your striker's thigh and going in for a 1-0 scrappy win. And this was that, really, wasn't it? You take the 3 points, obviously. I mean, big 3 points in the bigger picture. But I can't help but feel underwhelmed by it.
Yeah. Relieved is probably my overwhelming feeling. Well, underwhelmed. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because similar to the Leeds game, I felt that at 2-0, we were pretty shit in the first half. But at 2-0, we were coasting in total cruise control. Alisson had nothing to do. The game should have been dead and buried. They were down to 10 at that stage, weren't they? And then I mentioned it in one of the other episodes that we recorded about that, cracking of the glass effect. And they get the goal. And honestly, the team that we become, despite Spurs then going down to 9 players, it felt like we were the team with 9 players. We couldn't keep hold of the ball. Panic was just everywhere. And for a team that was league champions very recently, and most of those players playing were league champions, the fragility that was on show is just... it really is hard to watch. And you're right that we got over the line and that's all what matters, but it does make me fear that we are not over this rut.
Yeah, game of many different stages, I guess. Reasonable first half, in so much as I'm willing to accept away from home against Spurs that you take a 0-0 at half time. They didn't really have much of a sniff, and then obviously Xavi Simons gets sent off midway. Well, it wasn't midway through the first half, was it? It was 30 odd minutes.
Deservedly?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I mean, the Anthony Gordon one's the obvious comparison, isn't it? Gordon steams into Virgil with that one, like full tilt, wax him. The Simons one, it's one of those by the rules he's got to go, I guess. I'd be a bit disappointed if it was our boy, I won't lie, but yeah, he wasn't trying to get the ball. I really don't know what's going through his head there. But then, you go into half-time 0-0. It's just a case of don't concede before half-time. Even against 10, I'm willing to accept that. First half of the second half, obviously, there's the sub, the Isak change, which I loved.
Yeah, same.
And then, epitome of what we bought Verts and Isak for in the goal.
It's cracking the goal. I love it. Everything about it, I love it. Obviously, it's a mistake from, was it Romero?
Romero, yeah.
Boots the ball at McAllister, I think. But the way that we immediately flood forward, the link-up play between all three of them, with Ekitike as well, I just loved everything about it. Yeah. And the finish. What a finish.
Mate, it's textbook Isak. It's what we bought him for. But also, prior to that, the weight on the pass from Verts, it almost stopped exactly where Isak needed it to take him in his stride, aside from the fact that Van de Ven goes through him like a train. And we just had a Joycey update, haven't we? Notifications on for Paul Joyce. He's fractured his fibula, plus an ankle injury, so real shame. I was a bit gutted he didn't do his celebration from the deck, but...
Yeah,
but you knew it was serious when with the immediate response.
I'm shocked he walks off the pitch. I really am. Now it's come out that he's fractured or whatever, broken his leg. Why on earth did he not just get on the stretcher?
Yeah, it was their prep for him, wasn't it? Don't know.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, we said in the last couple of episodes, didn't we, that it feels as though our season could hinge on how he kicks into form or not. It's quite different. Should we talk about the last bit of the game after they go down to 9, or do you want to just gloss it? Because I'm happy to gloss it.
No. I think we should talk about it because I mean I've got a bit of a controversial view here, I think, and I want to get your take on this. So I'm not coming at him in any way at all because I love him, but for me, Virgil has a Konate moment.
Interesting.
And there's that Richarlison goal should never have happened.
Yeah.
And if Virgil just boots the ball up the pitch, we'd probably win the game at a canter 2-0.
Yeah.
And if that was Konate, I think he'd be getting absolutely murdered. But what's your take on that? So I'm not saying I actually thought Virgil played well as well, apart from the mistake. Like obviously they were pumping balls into the air at the end, and him and Konate were really solid. But that moment was a mistake from Virgil in my head, and he has to be clearing that and being more dominant. And that just completely, like, we're lucky that in the end, bizarrely, that we got away with the 3 points. I think.
Yeah.
If that game had gone on for another 10 minutes, despite being down to 9, I do think Spurs would have scored.
Oh, it was painful watching that, wasn't it? Yeah, just moments where you're just like, lads, keep the ball.
Yeah.
Against 9 men as well. But I thought Virgil was brilliant after Romero gets sent off. I can see why he's come under criticism for the goal. It felt as though the ball was out of his reach for me, as much as I've defended him lately. And I do think he had a good game, but Kerkez tries to head a ball around a corner that's not really there. And then in a split second, Virgil's unbalanced. It felt
That's
inevitable
generous.
as well. Yeah, it is generous. And then Richarlison, being the pantomime villain that he is, like chokeslams Ekitike on the floor, squares up to Szoboszlai, who gets a yellow card for absolutely nothing, it seemed like. Misses the
that's
Wolves
also
game,
another blow for us.
Yeah.
Spurs' heavy-handedness, I think, should definitely be mentioned as well. They were a dirty bunch of bastards, weren't they? Christ.
Mate,
that Bentancur tackle on Kerkez right at the end was awful.
Yeah, it was a WWE move, mate. What do you think about the Van de Ven one on Isak? I've seen a few online saying he should have gone for that.
No, not for me. If you're telling centre-backs that you can't be throwing yourself in to try and block a goal like that, I think the game's gone.
So, I think as a coach, you need your last-ditch defenders to be last-ditch defenders. I do see the argument that if you make a tackle like that, and obviously Isak makes contact with the ball because he scores, right? Isak's played the ball. If that happens on the halfway line, and rather than the shot to goal, it's a pass, and you go through someone like that, you probably do get a booking.
Yeah, true.
So I can see the argument why people aren't happy.
I think for me, it's the fact that it's his shooting foot, not his standing leg.
Yeah.
If he gets his standing leg, totally different. But the shooting motion almost brings the leg into the scissor of the tackle.
Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a massively unlucky one because you felt like that moment was his moment, the milestone moment of it all comes together, of exactly why we bought the three of them. Wirtz getting his first Premier League assist, I believe it was. And just on Wirtz, I think he was quietly impressive again.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, he really everything good kind of involved him, and it's just a massive blow. I think that we've put out a £450 million outlay, and we'll come on to our options after this, but it just feels like we're woefully short. And you mentioned the Szoboszlai yellow card. He now misses the Wolves game. I believe we've got 8 senior players now out of that game, which leaves us, I think, with 12 or 13 senior players. So sure, it's Wolves, but we're not in a good position, I don't think, at the moment.
No,
and thank God it is January. Like we have an option to actually do something about it. Whether or not we do, don't know. But
yeah,
Slot said, didn't he, that we don't have an unlimited pit of money. So is that sort of softening the blow for fans when we don't really do much at all, or is he just smoke screens basically? Who knows? What's your take on that?
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because Bradley's picked up another knock, and back to the Spurs game for a moment before we move on, because I think it's sort of relevant. I quite liked Frimpong's cameo. I was interested that they used him ahead of Szoboszlai. No, exactly. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, they used him in the front three, but Bradley's out, Szoboszlai's out. I appreciate it's only Wolves. I don't think we should be calling any Premier League team only this season, even if it is Wolves, based on the output that we've been seeing.
Wolves almost took points away from Arsenal 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But so he's going to have to play right back, isn't he? And unless Jones does it. But I am enjoying Jones being as close to Wirtz as possible. Wirtz's first time passing is the thing that's most impressed me. His first touch and the way he plays the ball around the corner, zip, zip, zip. Curtis seems on his wavelength with that. But yeah, threadbare, mate. Threadbare, especially as he's not using Chiesa. What's Feli got to do?
Well, he might have to now. I mean, legitimately, we've got Ekitike, Chiesa, and Rio Ingamura as our fit strikers or attackers.
How long's Gakpo out for?
Not too much longer. He's recovering quicker than expected, so still a couple of weeks. But yeah, we need him back ASAP. But if Chiesa can't get minutes now, he might as well just hand in a transfer request, in my view.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I mean, I feel sorry for him. The elephant in the room is Salah. What do you do with Salah now?
I think he has to stay. I'll take back everything I said in that episode. I said I think he has to go, and we should cash in. But there's no way we should be letting him leave now. Like, no way at all. Well, I mean,
so I'll take you back to that same question that we posed at the end of the Salah episode. Would you straight swap him for Semenyo now?
I still would, yeah, for longevity, because you get Semenyo now as well. Obviously, Salah you'd get now, but you get Semenyo for 4 or 5 years, whereas you get Salah, realistically, even if he remains, you've got probably, 18 months max. I would say it's likely 6 months, whatever happens. The chances of Salah fulfilling his entire contract now are incredibly slim, I think.
Agree with that, yeah. Agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's still, you'd have to take Semenyo, but you need more. The big telling thing now is that we consciously didn't replace Luis Diaz. So last season we had Diogo Jota, Chiesa, Salah, Gakpo, Nunes, and Diaz.
Yeah.
We now have 5 senior attackers, of which one is currently fit, and so we're one down on where we were last year anyway, despite the money spent. So there was argument saying we were short before the season. Well, my thoughts on this. I think we were short before the season even began.
Yeah.
Now Isak's broken his leg, we are 100% short, and I think not moving in the January transfer window would be absolutely criminal from the club, given the money that's at stake for the Champions League qualification positions. And somehow, despite our run of form, we're bizarrely not even that far away from Arsenal. When you look at the table, it's wild.
10 points. 10 points off Arsenal, yeah. But it looks more tight up there than the sort of feel of things would lead you to believe, because it feels as though we've been on a landslide. I guess we have, but we were top of the league, weren't we? Unbeaten. But yeah, it's a slightly relevant point. But Jayden Danns. I'm not saying Jayden Danns would have necessarily. No, he's not. It's just another one. It's just unfortunate for him as well. He's out as well. Rob Page.
I mean, our bench against Spurs. Just another point about that game. The bench was fucking woeful. There wasn't a lot that Slot could do.
Yeah.
That he did. Obviously, he turned to his senior players, but bringing on Trey Aoni at the end.
Yeah. And he asked him just to run the line.
Basically just run around and cause problems in the attacking positions. Is just sums up where we are. And again, just going back to the sort of the neutral view, we get rinsed all the time, don't we, by all the boys in the WhatsApp groups about how much Liverpool has spent, and we've bought a super team. But actually, we say to them all the time, yes, we've spent a lot of money, but our squad is really weak. And I think now it just hammers home again. That is not a title-winning squad, I don't think. And it requires all the components of what we've bought to be excellent.
Yeah, I mean, you flied that flag harder than I have. My thinking on it was always going to be that defensive issues might arise. Obviously, Konate struggled to stay fit for the majority of his Liverpool career, and I don't want to curse the scenario now, but I thought that contagion, for want of a better phrase, might have occurred if we had, let's say, a Kanate injury, and then you have to bring Gravenberch back, and then all of a sudden you're asking Jones to play 2 games a week, which again historically he hasn't done, and then you pick up more injuries there because lads are being run into the ground harder. But I do think that'll now probably happen. I mean, you've touched on it a number of times in recent episodes. Ekitike and Wirtz can't finish a match. Like, they're going to be asked to play 2 games a week because they're going to have to.
Yeah.
Unless we start dipping into the 18s. But he told us Rio Ngamoha was going to be a first team option and he doesn't use him. So it's
That's why I think we have to buy someone or do something in January. Whether that's a loan or bringing back Harvey Elliott, if that's even an option, or I still think we need to just go out and buy someone. Like, but regardless of what option it is, we need bodies. Like, we can't be relying on Rio and Gamur to get us into the top 4.
Agreed. We need numbers for sure. Who like, it's hard to say about Rio, isn't it? By all accounts, he absolutely scares the life out of the established first team players in training, but Slot doesn't seem to want to use him.
It's difficult using a young player though in a stage of the season that we're in now. I think obviously he played a bit at the start of the season when we were winning all those games. I think if that form had continued, he probably would have had a lot more minutes. It feels like because of this ripple effect of, a mistake and then the whole team sort of falls apart. I think putting a young kid into the middle of that would be difficult for him as well.
Yeah, and you're right, because when you're winning, you can say, "Oh, they're managing the minutes of this young talent well," but yeah, you don't. At the same time, you don't want to become reliant on a 16-year-old necessarily. But I think we'll do Gahey in Jan.
Do you?
Yeah, I think we will.
I mean, Jesus, we need it, don't we?
On the basis of a market opportunity. Yeah, I think we'll do Gahey. There's talk today, I can't remember which media outlet it was, talks that they're at least aware that they need a winger, central midfielder and a centre-back. I can't see us going big.
That's going to be a lot of money again.
Yeah.
And this time we don't have the bargaining chips to sort of recruit some of the net spend back, I don't think. Like, if you're looking at the squad, apart from sort of peripheral figures like Endo, who's currently injured, there's no one really that's obvious that we could shift out the team.
No, Harvey's market value's sunk as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're right, there's not many saleable assets in there unless you go out and sell someone like a Rio Ngamoha. I'm clearly not advocating for it, but yeah.
All right, last touch on the Spurs game then. So anything, well, where do you think we are then? So obviously it tells us that we can grind out wins when we're not at our best, and we definitely weren't at our best. That's crucial in the Premier League run-in. Definitely can't play brilliant every week, but at some stage we do need to start actually playing well and sort of confidently winning these games, because it just feels like this can't last. This run of form where we're Inter Milan aside, Brighton could have comfortably scored a couple against us. Obviously, we fell apart against Leeds. Sunderland probably should have beaten us if that Chiesa block at the end hadn't have happened. And it felt like 10 minutes longer, Spurs would have found a way back in. What does that tell you about where we are?
Fragile still. Fragile. I go back to that point about, you say you'd take 3 points at any cost. Scraping it over the line against 9 men, holding on for dear life. It just underlines that fragility for me. I still, I think we've got enough quality. The Ekitike is in a nice vein of form, isn't he? Wirtz is properly coming to the party, starting to run games, but starting to. I think we've got enough quality to beat anyone. And again, if you look down our list of results this season, it's mad, isn't it? We've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten Real Madrid, we've beaten Inter Milan, beaten this Villa super team. We've had some great results, but we've had some shockers as well. I know I seem to mention...
Let's hope Wolves isn't another one.
Well, exactly, but it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe I'm being a pessimist, but I know I come back to the idea of mentioning the same thematic games all the time, the Newcastle League Cup final, the PSG game. But Slot does as well. Do you see, he was desperate to try and say it in the post-match. He even referenced the idea that, people will tell me that I'm giving away our secrets if I talk about this. But he alluded to Spurs playing the way Newcastle did. And it's like, no, for fuck's sake, mate, if you know this is the deficit, then you've got to set up differently. and I suppose we did in a sense after they went down to 9, but that's not sustainable. Yeah, it's I'm with every passing week more and more concerned about the way the manager sets the team up.
Well, I was going to say that. So before we get onto the post Isak world, just on Slot then. So 5-6 weeks ago, it felt like he was sort of game to game managing his career as a manager at Liverpool. What's your thoughts on it now? I think he's probably bought himself certainly to the end of the season now. There are definite green shoots. I think he handled the Salah situation pretty well, and he spoke very well about it. I'm sure when the Salah stuff re-emerges, it will be much of the same, and he will. I think whatever happens, he's a really good spokesperson. I can see the benefits of his tactical work. Obviously, we've shifted to the diamond with the two up front. He's going to have to do something different again because we don't have two strikers now.
Yeah.
So for me, he's had a good month. I think not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I would say he's probably now not in sort of last chance saloon. We could probably lose to Wolves and Leeds, and he would still be okay.
Yeah.
Would you? If we lost to Wolves and Leeds as the next two games, do you reckon he'd get sacked? I don't.
Oh. I think if we lose to Wolves, the question has to be asked again. I think it's fragile for him. Yeah, I really do.
We're joint fourth, though. I don't. How can we possibly be that fragile with joint fourth? Like, I get performances are, very questionable, but we're joint fourth. All that matters is the table. We've just got to accept, I think, that this season is an anomaly, and maybe it always was going to be because of the horrible events that happened in the summer.
You know what's interesting? When we signed Slot, they babysat him for his press conference. Richard Hughes came out holding his hand, babysitting him. And we were told he's the coach. He's not the manager, he's a coach. It's interesting if you look back at his career to date, because I think I've just raised the point there that with each passing week, the tactical decisions on the pitch, I'm starting to question. For me, I appreciate he's billed as our coach, but it's the management side of things that he's actually done better, I think. In terms of managing situations, the Jota thing, managing the Salah scenario, you could argue that part of it was his own doing, but at the end of the day, your superstar's throwing his toys out of the pram a little bit and you've had to respond. I think I like the way he talks to the press about the non-football side of things. He's starting to annoy me with the football side of things, with what he's saying, I'll be honest. He is. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to ask you the same question again, mate. Do you think he'll be our manager next season?
Yeah, I do now.
Oh.
Can't remember what I said last time you asked me that, but I think I'd had a few too many whiskies. But
you had, mate. I could hear your ice cubes.
Yeah.
Thank
God we weren't videoing that one. Yes, I do. I think we'll get top four from here, although Isak's injury does throw that up in the air a bit. But I think we'll get top four, and for me, that is a relatively okay season. Not great as the champions, but yeah, I think given the squad deficiencies, the impact of the Jota situation and Salah's just, however you want to phrase it, I will call it a decline.
Yeah.
I think it's a really difficult season for anyone to come in and completely change that around. And I think if he does get top four, there's no way we're sacking him.
Yeah. Yeah. The Champions League as well. We could have a bit of fun in the Champions League again. Not saying we're going to win it, but I'd take top four and 2 reasonable runs in the cup. Well, I wouldn't have done it at the start of the season. To be honest, you spend that much money, and appreciate with hindsight, and obviously the Jota thing.
But did we just do the rebuild that we probably should have done the year before?
Yeah,
though?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because you were saying all summer we've done too much at once. And that this felt inevitable. So I guess here we are. Here it is happening.
But the worst thing is, I still think we've got a load more to do. You've got to success plan Virgil, which we've done nothing of yet. We still haven't properly replaced Salah. We've got no proper right side wing forward. I think there's massive holes. We didn't really sign a replacement of Trent either. Like Frimpong's, I mean, we bought him on as an attacking right midfielder. It says it all against Spurs. So despite the expenditure, I still think there's a massive transition to come. Alisson's not going to last forever, and I'm not convinced that Mamardashvili is the right replacement for him. That's another one that just pains me. I think that like there's no way. Well, I mean, obviously time will tell, but at this stage, to me, it looks like Kelleher is probably a better option than Mamardashvili.
I think I think in summary, I would agree. We've done a lot of work, and we still have a lot of work to do.
But maybe that's just a reflection of the squad, because it was always going to happen. It was inevitable that core group of players could not play forever, and they could play for a long time, but not be as good as they have been. And I think that all of that decline, and I think you're probably seeing it with Van Dijk as well, that he's still great, but he can't do it all on his own anymore. And he's got, if you look back at Van Dijk's last 8 games, he's probably made 3 or 4 goal costly errors. Certainly the handball against PSV, if you count that one against Spurs, he's given away 3 or 4 penalties this season as well.
He's lost a yard, hasn't he?
He's lost, which is just inevitable though. And that's why you've got him. He plays every single minute for us because we can't manage his game time. Because who else do you bring in? We don't have another fifth choice centre back.
The recruitment thing's really interesting, though. I think because Klopp was the biggest advocate for the fact that if you're going to press, teams are going to play over your press. So you need your centre backs to be monsters. Apparently, Klopp used to say to the academy in the recruitment, 6'4". Want my centre backs to be 6'4". Which
goes against the Mark Guehi.
That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, because I can imagine that Slot's argument for Guehi was that he can play with his feet and Konate can't. We saw Curtis Jones get his pocket pinched to try and basically not giving the ball to Konate. That's a problem for Slot, and it's a problem for me as well because we haven't really adapted our build-up around it. But is Mark Guehi necessarily an ideal replacement if Slot keeps coming to the media and saying, teams are just playing against us like Newcastle did? If you know they're going to, mate, then you need aerial dominance and you need pacing behind. Guehi's got the latter, but Guehi's what, 6'1"? I'm not saying he's bad in the air, but his numbers aren't a Virgil. And back to your point about succession planning. Not only do we need to replace the fact that Konate might go to Madrid or not re-sign, we also need to replace Virgil. There's quite a lot of work to do there.
Yeah, you basically need two senior starting centre backs, which are really hard to come by.
Yeah,
like proper top class centre backs.
Yeah, Leone looks great for the 50 minutes he played against Southampton, but he's going to be 19 next season, back from an ACL. Can you really?
He's not out for that long, actually. I was looking at his injury time frame earlier. It's 2 or 3 months, I think.
Is he? God.
So he might play again this season.
I mean, he looks like he's juiced, doesn't he? Do you see those photos of him doing the bicep curls in the gym?
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. That's what we want to see. Just on that Konate one though, and the Guehi situation, I am an R about this all the time, but Konate's last 3 games are a pleasant reminder of what he can be, and I think I think Guehi comes in and provides. I still want to keep Konate, like 100%, even if we get Guehi, and I think for me it's just competitive edge, and that's what it gives you. The fact that he's undroppable with those mistakes makes it more likely that he'll continue to do it, I think.
Yeah.
But for me, I think he will probably be our number, as long as he doesn't go, obviously. But if he stays, there's no way he's leaving his position in my head.
I mean, the Schlotterbeck links keep coming back up. That's what I like the look of. In terms of that's a centre-back that can do a bit of both. He's big boy, isn't he? He's good in the air, good on the deck. I wouldn't be able to tell you firsthand what his recovery speed's like because obviously you lose that with Konate if he gets replaced. But yeah, I think we're going to have to do. I think we'll do Guehi in Jan. I think they've done all the legwork for it. That file is firmly open. I think we'll do Guehi. It wouldn't stun me if we did Guehi Semenyo.
Okay, so if we do that, is that enough? Do you think, given the Isak news,
to finish top 4? Should be, shouldn't it? You'd think so. I mean, my dream attacking option, if you want to call him that, is Morgan Rogers. And I could see
nice.
the argument for throwing an extra 20 because you weaken a rival as well. Villa are a top 4 spot, aren't they?
Where'd you play him though?
Top left.
So you'd revert back to the 4-3-3.
I think that's probably Slot's model, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it begs the question though: why we signed players that can't play in that sort of system?
You'd have to ask.
But yeah, I agree. If you sign,
Yeah.
and we debated this in the last episode about the Semenyo effect of if you're going to stick with a diamond or stick with two up front in Ekitike and Isak. This is obviously before he got injured, but why would you sign Semenyo then? Because if you sign Semenyo, you have to go back to the inside forwards again. In which case, maybe Ekitike will play left, Isak through the front. So in some respects, it actually, the Isak injury, there are small positives that I will take away from this, which is it makes the formational direction probably a lot more simpler.
Yeah.
It makes Salah's remigration to the squad a lot easier. And up until that strike, Isak has been pretty shit as well. So it removes that sort of, are we going to start Isak or Ekitike? It has to be Ekitike. We've got to get him playing 90 minutes every single week, probably 2 or 3 times a week, and just hope that his form continues, because he's on great form at the moment, and thank God.
Yeah, I think in terms of recruitment, they'll move towards the vision of what it is going to be. We keep hearing that these boys are signed on 5-6 year contracts. I think they'll probably recruit with the longer term in mind rather than stopgaps to get top 4. Although it would be an absolute disaster if we didn't. And I think, although it doesn't seem like it necessarily from the way he is quite rigid in how he uses the players, I do think Slot values that sort of total football Dutch approach. So when I talk about Morgan Rogers, it's more in terms of he's a good footballer at the top end of the pitch rather than he plays in a position we need. Because he's a bit of a sort of 10, really, isn't he? Bit of a can do any job up top.
Yeah.
In the same way that Semenyo can play either side. I don't for a second think we'll get Morgan Rogers. There were those Indy Kalia or Indy Kyler rumours in the summer that got me very excited, but I don't for a second think we'll do Rogers. I think it'll be Semenyo and Gahey. If at most.
My only concern there is the goals reliance is so heavy on Ekitike. If he was to get injured, where do the goals come from?
Cody.
Gakpo. I mean, for our own purposes, that would be great because we've got him in our fantasy team, haven't we? But Gakpo's never really played a 9 for us, has he? It was always Diaz of the two. I mean, he probably has, but
he did a bit.
Diaz was the favoured 9.
Season.
Yeah. It feels weird that Gakpo coming back feels really important to us right now, and I think before he got injured, his form was really poor as well. He was one of the ones that I was looking at, thinking he needs out the team ASAP because he's just all over the place.
Have you seen that account on Twitter called Anfield Papers? That's basically like a parody account, and the branding looks like Anfield Index or one of these other fan media accounts. I mean, to be fair, the branding looks like the Red Debate branding, but they
trademarked.
They tweet out sort of journalist quotes, but they're made up, and then they tag a journalist at the bottom. So it gets me every time. And they did one about Cody Gakpo, who was. They just made up a fake interview answer where Gakpo was asked about Florian Wirtz, and he was like, "Yes, he's a fantastic player. He's got a great ability to turn on the ball. He reminds me of myself." Just like, it really tickled me.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, we need him back. I think if Ekitike gets a big injury, we got to just write the season off.
Well, okay, so quick predictions then to close the app. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, yes or no answers. Will Ekitike be Liverpool's top scorer this year?
Yes.
Interesting. Do Liverpool sign a striker in January or a forward? I'll let you have Semenyo if you think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to say no to a number 9 or someone that we might term a number 9. Yes to an attacking option. Whether that's a first team one or not, I don't know. Like I'm not including Will Wright from Salford City, for example.
He might
Back
get
from
some.
injury.
He's
Back
injured
from
as well,
injury.
though, isn't it? Oh, is he back now?
Yeah.
And then the final one. Do you think we'll get top 4?
Much like I asked you the Salah question again, you're going to have to ask me after the January transfer window's closed and the Salah thing's concluded.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to say yes from now.
Here's the second part of that then is who's the big threat? So who's above us? We're level on points with Chelsea, then it's Villa, then obviously City, Arsenal. Let's just discount for the purposes of this chat. Who's the big threat for that top 4 position?
I said at the start of the season it would be Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, top 4 in what order I don't know. I did think it was probably Arsenal's time to win the league this year.
Phase 10.
Do I still think? Yeah, exactly. 6 years of Teta. Do I still think that Chelsea will be there? Don't know. I think Villa will drop off. I think they will eventually. But again, nudge, nudge, Richard Hughes. Another reason to go and pinch Morgan Rogers off him.
Yeah, well, there it is. All right.
Go on, mate. Quickly. Just quickly.
Go on.
What's your answers? Are we going to get top 4?
Yes.
You hesitated, or you were surprised when I said Ekitike will be our top scorer. What's your take on that? You think Salah, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say I think it might be Salah. If I was Salah now and I knew I was staying, and I'm not saying he knows he's staying, but I'd be looking at the Isak injury thinking I'm going to come back in. There's no way I can't really play now. And someone needs to bang the goals in. And as good as Ekitike's been, I don't think he'll score more than 20 league goals.
Oh, that would be a huge return, though.
That would be a massive first season, yeah. I don't think he'll get close either, though. I think... Is he on 8?
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8. Salah's on 5, is he? Or 4?
I want to say 4.
So he's not like a million miles away. Obviously, he's going to miss another 5 weeks of the season, which is, I suppose, Ekitike's time to kick on. Yeah, I still wouldn't be surprised if it's Salah, to be honest. And if he did come back and had a point to prove, and he comes back into a team that's playing a lot better, because that's the other thing, isn't it? The state of the team that when he comes back in January could be wildly different to what he's just left.
Yeah.
If he can get in a run, I do think he'll catch Ekitike quite quickly. But then, obviously, Ekitike's last 3 games, he's got a double, and a single. So if he carries on at that pace, he'll be quickly out of sight. But yeah, I'm not 100% convinced that he'll be our top scorer.
Yeah, Mo was the other one going through my mind.
There's no one else, realistically. Who else could it possibly be? Gakpo.
Well, Cade Gordon's injured as well, so not him. You got to feel sorry for Cade, but we'll move on. Are we going to sign a winger, Smith?
Yes. I think we're mad if we don't. Absolutely bonkers if we don't. Richard Hughes has got to be looking at that thinking the outlay will be significantly less than what we'd lose if we didn't get the top 4. It's just not worth the risk. Given that we've managed to get ourselves back in the fight for it, if we were 10th still, I could understand that maybe we just take the hit this season, bed in the new players, and we go big. We do a big push next season. But it's reachable. Third is very feasible for us now.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think we'll get it, but it is feasible.
Yeah, agreed. Do you know what? I didn't think of this at the time when you asked the question. Do I think Ekitike will be our top scorer? I think Anton Semenyo might be.
There you go. That's a great. How many goals has he got?
Are we counting? Yeah, are we counting his Bournemouth?
Yeah, we count the Bournemouth goals. Yeah, he can't be too far off Ekitike, if not above him. I don't know.
There you go.
All right, that's the shout. Well, let's wrap this up. We've got a good mid-season review episode or debate coming where we'll just talk about form or the players who have impressed and not impressed. So stay tuned. Keep up to speed on everything happening in the next couple of days and looking forward to the January transfer window. Cheers.